May I introduce you to my wife?
Trevor?
Oh.
What was that? Are you all right?
Yeah, just a sec.
Trevor, you decent?
Just a moment.
You all right? Just want to let you know I'm popping out now.
Shall I come? I could do with the air.
No, it won't be long. Trevor.
Yeah?
Did you manage to do the thing I asked?
Yes, I took it all to the charity shop.
Thank you.
It's frightening. Hey, look at that. That's the second time this month, and I go to that club. I can't bear it. You can't go anywhere these days.
What's that?
Right hypno.
Shocking happened to a friend of mine.
Really? That's
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah, they're out, having a good time, couple of drinks, and bam, she's all over the place.
What happened?
Well, luckily, she was with her husband. I didn't think what would have happened otherwise.
Oh, who'd do a thing like that? I tell you what, those people, they're scum of the earth.
Be careful.
Oh, yeah, like I'm going to meet a bloke with that attitude. I was only joking. Promise I'll be careful.
Morning.
Morning.
Right, let's get off.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Look, I just wanted to clear the air. I hate this bad atmosphere.
Yeah, me too.
If you agree, I'd like to draw a line under the whole stupid thing and pretend it never happened.
Yeah, I'm up for that. I think you're right. If neither of us go out with her, there's no need to fight, is there?
No, wait a minute. That's not what I said.
Yes, you did.
No, you're misunderstanding me. I never said I wouldn't go out with Carla.
So what's this, an empty apology?
No, what's got into you? Are you prepared to throw away our friendship over what, a woman?
OK, you want to know why I'm upset?
Yes,
She
please.
turned me down.
Oh, now we're getting somewhere.
She rejected me out of hand because of this.
Oh, I suppose it's got nothing to do with your injured pride and the fact that she chose me and not you in the first place.
Forget about it. Do what you like, mate.
Caterers. Check. As requested, no shellfish, no nuts, and a puff pastry suitable for our vegetarian contingent. Ah. Madam Compere?
Check. Listen, there was a bloke walked into a bar with an apple off his...
As generously endowed with humour as I'm sure you are, Dr. Woodson, let's attempt to keep it fresh for tomorrow night, shall we? Are we in fine fettle for your duet, Dr. Clay?
Sure thing, baby.
And the headline act. Have you secured Marilyn Howard as promised?
Yep, signed, sealed and delivered.
Ah, well, that's something, I suppose. Morning.
Morning.
And how's the magic act coming along?
Magic!
Splendid. Good morning, Mill Health Centre.
My name's Jennifer Bryant.
Hold on. Patience is a virtue, madam. Yes, continue.
I'm really sorry about that. Vivian, don't you think it's time I take these?
No, I need that.
Yeah, but...
Oh, Mrs. Bryant, I'm ready for you now if you'd like to come through. Don't worry about her. She's doing a lot of work for charity. Grab a seat.
Thank you.
So, how are you feeling? Any change since I saw you last week?
You know, just about the same, really.
And you're still getting the abdominal pains just as regularly. I asked you to come in today because the results of your swab have come back. It's not the best news. I'm afraid you have chlamydia.
Chlamydia?
Yes. It can cause abdominal pain. Some women also find that the pain increases during their periods, as you described, or after intercourse. The good news is it can be easily treated with a course of antibiotics, and it normally only really causes a problem if it's left untreated, so you shouldn't experience any long-term effect. Mrs. Bryant?
No, it's impossible. There must be some mistake.
And I'm afraid not. The lab results are quite clear.
But how? I don't understand. I came to you with cystitis.
Well, the symptoms can be similar. Unfortunately, chlamydia is a very common infection. It's likely that the person who passed it on to you isn't even aware that they have it. It's very important that you inform them so they can receive some treatment.
Person that passed it on to me.
Oh, yeah, chlamydia is a sexually transmitted.
Yes, I know what chlamydia is, thank you. Do I look like the sort of woman who sleeps around?
Well, no, of course not, but you must appreciate the importance of informing any sexual partners about the infection. They need to start a course of antibiotics as soon as possible.
I've slept with the same man for the past 15 years. My husband.
Well, then it might be a good idea if your husband came in for an examination.
My husband's been dead for 3 months.
Mrs. Bryant, please. Why wasn't Mr. Bryant's death put on Mrs. Bryant's notes?
I may be many things, Dr. Clay, but a mind reader I am not.
She seems quite calm.
Yeah, the calm before the storm. Who knows what's lurking below?
You should go and talk to her.
Why are we whispering?
Because of the scary lady who's going to kill us.
Oh, I've had enough of this. Right, we're all adults here. We don't have to do anything we don't want to do, all right? You're blowing this all out of proportion.
Mill Health Centre? What do you mean you can't deliver it till 8 o'clock? What double booking? Don't take that tone with me. Fine. Well, I'll make it very simple for you. Either you have that PA system there at 4 o'clock as arranged, or I will personally wire you into the mains. Goodbye. The fact that you're standing there with a vacant expression and your mouth agape suggests that you have something of importance to say. Do you?
I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark and say you're a little bit stressed. You are, aren't you? Because I can tell, you see. How about I weave my magic spell on you again?
I've got far too much to do.
More haste, less speed. It really helped you unwind last time, didn't it? And I've got some free time later. So what do you say?
I say that it's extremely kind of you to offer your time, and I gratefully accept. There are 200 glasses that need to be collected. Unfortunately, they're supplied by 5 different supermarkets. But I'm sure you won't mind because you have such an abundance of free time. So, here's the list. And thank you very, very much. I feel much calmer now. Yes?
Audition at 9:10.
Dr. Clay called. He told me that... Well, he said you'd left something at the surgery. Are you okay? Are you ill?
I'm fine, it's nothing.
Truly?
I said I'm fine.
That's a relief. I couldn't bear to think that...
I'm fine. Will you please stop fussing? Haven't you got anything better to do?
I was wondering if you'd made your mind up about the house.
What?
The house?
When have I had time to think about that? Haven't I got enough on my plate without you constantly badgering me about the stupid house?
I'm sorry. It's just I don't know where I'd go if you sold the place. I've lived here for so long.
I don't know, Trevor. What do I know about it? We'll always dealt with all our financial stuff.
You don't want to look through the accounts, do you?
No, I don't. He kept it away from me, protect me from all the worry, he said. Well, he certainly did that. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I wish you'd let me help you. You don't have to bear the burden alone. Let me. I'll protect you from all the worry.
I've asked you to do too much as it is.
You know, I'd do anything for you. To help you, I mean.
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps this time I took some responsibility for myself.
No. Let me. I am an accountant, after all. Shouldn't take me too long. Just give me a few hours. Please?
Thank you.
You look tired. Let me do that for you. You go and sit down.
Thank you. Seem to be thanking you for a lot of things these days.
Hear you had a bit of a set to with a patient this morning.
I told you that.
Only everybody.
She was widowed 3 months ago, and I've just diagnosed her with chlamydia.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, exactly. She's adamant that it wasn't from her husband, and she reckons there's no one else she could have got it from, so...
And you think the lady doth protest too much?
Well, she could have had the infection for ages without any symptoms. On top of the fact that she's grieving, she may just have ignored the signs or brushed them aside for weeks.
But
Someone gave it to her.
you don't think it was her husband?
Well, I don't know. But if... Well, I've no reason to think that it wasn't him. And if it was him, it opens a whole other can of worms.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time that a widow has sought comfort in someone else, or a widower, for that matter.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just need to be sure that I've done everything I can. Maybe I'll try and speak to her again when she's a bit calmer. See you later.
See you. Hi, Carla. It's me. Yeah. Look, I'm leaving work a bit earlier today. Yeah, good behaviour. Listen, have a light lunch, okay? I've got something tasty planned.
That stinks. What is it?
Salmon and broccoli. I'm on the new superfood diet.
Super stinky.
Right. I need everyone to pull their fingers out.
Oh, is that the time?
I've got to go.
Wait a second, no one to speak. Where is everybody?
Having lunch.
No, this will never do. Michelle,
What?
I want you to tell everyone that there's a meeting in here after surgery closes tonight. Attendance is mandatory.
Excuse me?
Accept no excuses. Understand?
Why do I have to do it?
Because you're the only one here. Mill Health Centre, good afternoon.
I've burnt her! I've burnt her!
Calm down, I can't understand you.
Please send a doctor straight away.
What's the name?
Mrs. Bryant, I've spilled hot water on her. I'm so clumsy.
Mrs. Bryant. If it's an emergency, you must take her to the accident and emergency at St. Phil's.
No, she's in pain. Please come.
We can't help you, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Tell him I'm on the way. I've got home visits now anyway.
Dr. Clay, there are rules for a reason. This is a doctor's surgery, not an ambulance service.
Hi, this is Dr. Clay. I think we spoke earlier. I'll be on my way straight away. Okay, bye.
Please yourself.
Someone smells nice.
That'd be love boy.
Thank you, Julia.
Oh, who's a lucky lady?
Lucky, I won't get too carried away.
Was it something I said?
Do you know what really gets me?
No, but I guess you're going to tell me.
It's Nick's arrogance. He simply refuses to believe that Carla might have chosen me because she fancies me more. He's blaming it on his wheelchair. Can you believe that? Like, if he hadn't been in a wheelchair, she wouldn't have looked at me twice.
Yeah, well, he's been through a lot, you know, Joe, recently. You've got to admit it's got to be hard to adjust.
No, I'm sorry, Julia. This has nothing to do with the accident. It's Nick being Nick.
No?
Perfect.
Or I've got Tuesday afternoon. Can you bear with me? Yes?
I'm very sorry, but we won't be doing the magic hack.
We're very, very sorry, but we're pulling out the gala.
Come back here!
Hi. Do you want to tell me what happened?
It's my fault. I'm sorry.
It was an accident.
I knocked over a cup of tea. I was daydreaming.
And you are?
Trevor.
My brother-in-law.
I live upstairs.
Oh,
He's my brother-in-law.
okay. Well, it isn't as bad as it looks, so I'll just give it a clean up and put a dressing on. Have you, had a chance to think any more about what we discussed this morning?
Trevor, will you put the kettle on for me, please? I'm sure Dr. Clay would like a cup of tea.
Milk, no sugar, thanks. You left your prescription behind, you know? I have it in my bag, but it's important you start taking the antibiotics straight away.
Sorry I stormed off like that.
It's okay. Is that your husband?
Yeah. Handsome, isn't he? It's true what they say. Only the good die young.
It must be difficult with your brother-in-law living in the house.
Trevor was still living with his mother until a few years ago, and then when she died, he had nowhere to go. No friends. Poor Trevor.
So your husband did the brotherly thing, took him in?
Yeah. Yeah, he was kind like that. Making him sound like a saint.
A bit. And you're positive he couldn't have infected you?
What kind of saint has a sexually transmitted disease? Hi.
Hey, bang on time. You look lovely.
Oh, they're beautiful, thank you. So, where are we going? I'm intrigued.
To the place that does the best spaghetti carbonara in town.
Well, aren't I the lucky one?
Hey, let's get out of here.
Why do you keep asking me the same questions over and over? I've already told you Will was faithful to me. I trusted him implicitly.
Even the strongest marriages have their bad patches.
Not ours. Will worked hard for his family. He was always away. So when we spent time together, it was special.
Did he work away a lot?
I always knew exactly where he was.
Still, it's not impossible, is it? Look, it may not have come from him. We're just working through all the possible causes, that's all.
Then where? Who?
Sometimes when people are grieving, they do out-of-character things. They do things they wouldn't normally do.
Such as?
Finding comfort in a relationship with someone else.
I've already told you.
Happens to more people than you think.
Not me.
And sometimes people turn to drink, for example. Mrs. Bryan?
I couldn't cope. Will always looked after me, shielded me from the world, and when he died, he left me wide open, like a gaping wound. But I am coping much better now. It's not as if I'm a complete alcoholic.
No one's saying you are, but it could explain your current situation.
So you think I got blind drunk and had sex with someone? It's impossible.
Happens all the time.
Ever since Will died, Trevor has been clucking around me like an old mother hen. He hardly lets me out of his sight. It drives me utterly crazy. Do you really think he'd let me wander the streets 3 sheets to the wind?
I just want you to think about the possibilities.
Yes, fine. For a while, I was lost. I admit it. I found a drink or two help numb the pain. But it didn't last long. Alcohol and grief don't mix, believe me.
Why'd you say that?
I started getting awful, gut-wrenching hangovers. I couldn't remember where I'd been, for heaven's sake. I hated the whole loss of memory thing. I've never been a drinker, you see. I didn't realise.
But if you couldn't remember?
Well, Trevor was always there to fill in the blanks. I gave it up as a bad job in the end. That wasn't the widow Will deserved. Dr. Clay? What is it? What are you going to tell me?
You've just reminded me of something I heard today. I'm not quite sure how to put this, but you've just described the symptoms of Rohypnol.
The date rape drug? You think I was raped?
Well, no, not necessarily, but you did describe the symptoms, and you do have an STI that we can't account for. But do you remember anything unusual?
No, nothing. I told you. Well, if you want to know about those nights, the person to ask is... Trevor.
Trevor?
Jennifer?
You dirty, disgusting. How dare you? How dare you?
It's not my fault.
What are these, eh? Receipts for your filthy drugs.
What?
What's this?
Give that back.
Prostitute. Heaven knows what else you've given me.
What do you mean? What have I given
How
you?
could you? I trusted you. You violated me, your own brother's wife. I want him out of my house.
I think you should both calm down.
When I think of all those nights, when I was grieving, I was at your mercy. I thought you were protecting me, and all the time you were using me like a piece of meat.
Don't say that!
I can't bear the thought of your hands on me, touching me. You make me feel sick. Get out of my house before I call the police.
Please listen to me. I could never hurt you. Jennifer! I would never hurt you. I love you.
Get him away from me. I want him out of my sight.
What have I done? I don't understand.
You've given me chlamydia. That and whatever else you've picked up from your filthy prostitutes.
Oh, no. No, you've got this all wrong.
Have I?
I think it's probably best if you leave.
No, I'd die without you.
Trevor?
I'm an accountant. That's why I never throw anything away. It's all there. His receipts from his romantic dinners, champagne, flowers, holidays even. My brother was no saint, Dr. Clay. But she worshipped him, they all did. When I found out about his other life, I hid it from her. There didn't seem to be any point in dragging her treasured memories through the mud. I spent my whole life covering up for him, even after he was dead. He didn't deserve her. You do believe me, don't you?
Doesn't really matter what I believe, does it?
For heaven's sake, don't you have to have sex with someone to get one of those infections? Look at me. Look at me. Who'd want poor Trevor? It wasn't me. I'd be too frightened to touch her. She's too perfect.
Bellissimo.
So are you.
What's on your mind, Joe?
Well, I'm just amazed that you didn't go for Nick. I mean, women seem to be constantly throwing themselves at his feet.
It must be the aftershave he wears. No, seriously, he's a nice guy, don't get me wrong, but I could never see him like that.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, the wheelchair.
Well, what difference does the wheelchair make?
Well, you make it sound like you want me to fancy him.
No, of course not. But I just don't understand how you can dismiss someone just because they use a wheelchair.
I'm sure some people would find it titillating, but...
So it's not just an image thing?
Well, yes, OK. If I'm being honest, it would bother me. Turning up at a party, introducing Nick to my friends. They'd think I'd taken him on out of sympathy.
Taken him on?
And then, of course, the first question they'd asked is how he performs in the bedroom department.
How he what?
I know it doesn't bear thinking about. I know it makes me sound fastidious.
Fastidious?
But that's just me. What I want is a whole man, if you know what I mean.
So how far does this fastidiousness extend?
Sorry, I don't follow.
Well, for example, if my sight were to fail and I became deaf, would that affect the way you feel about me?
Well...
Or if I was black or Asian?
Well, you're not, are you? I mean, if you were... Look, I don't know what you're trying to imply.
Or perhaps it's only people with disabilities who turn your stomach.
That's not what I said. Look, there's no need to be aggressive about this, Joe. I just know what I like and stick to it.
White, middle class, able-bodied.
If you like.
No, I don't. Sorry, Carla, but I just don't think it's going to work out. Suddenly realised I don't know you at all.
What?
I'll pay the bill on the way out. Good evening.
Joe, where are you going?
Home. Company's better. Not bellissima, after all. It's rather ugly, in fact.
She won't need arching me, will she? Sit.
I've had enough of this place for one day.
Some of us do have families and homes to go to.
Look, she said everyone.
Oh, at last. I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about us.
Right, you lot. You've been avoiding me all day, and it's time we sorted this lot out. Otherwise, the Scala is in danger of going down the drain.
Oh, that's awful.
You seem to have forgotten why we're doing this. We wanted to do something to honour Sam's memory. Raise money for the hospice, remember? But you seem incapable of doing the simplest things. You're supposed to be educated human beings. You're so wrapped up in your own personal squabbles you don't care. You're too self-absorbed to take part. And you let me down at the 11th hour. So, will someone tell me? This is supposed to be happening tomorrow. How are we going to turn this around? Yes, Dr. Clay?
That was Marilyn Howard. She's got bronchitis.
That's it. Forget it, the lot of you.
Goodness. A fashion faux pas.
Come to the stage, slave.
I'm so sorry. I thought you were my wife.
Cast and crew only backstage.
Oh, I didn't mean it. Vivian, I want to sing.
You're a lecherous liability.
Any pressing?
At this rate, this performance is turning into a French farce.
He's the doctor who solves crime, Dick Van Dyke, and the return of Diagnosis Murder next on BBC1.